Well, for now, the market is quietened down, but the mid-cap index is doing pretty well, up almost about 0.7%. However, I want to mention some stocks that are bucking the trend in the broader markets. A lot of these auto and auto ancillary stocks are under a bit of pressure. Ashok Leyland is down almost about 2% at the lowest point. Names like Sundaram Finance also under a bit of pressure right now. But the big stocks in focus today, Mindtree is trading with some gains ahead of the crucial board meeting today. CEO Rosto Ravanan told CNBC TV 18 that he is still confident of support from all large institutional investors. But we learned from sources that an independent directors committee is likely to be formed to advise on the future functioning and operations. Nisha, is that what you're picking up?
That's right, Sonia. In fact, in keeping with the highest standards of corporate governance and also as per the corporate law, they have to set up an independent directors committee, and that's what we are likely to see in the board meet also today. So independent directors, 4 of them will be forming this particular committee, will be headed by Apurva Purohit, who's part of that committee and could also be articulating what the committee really decides. Now, that will really recommend the board on the future course of action and will also be recommending to the shareholders on how they should act upon an L&T's open offer or any other open offer or any other proposal that comes out of the promoters of Mindtree who are not in favor of L&T acquiring the company. So this is going to be a very, very crucial role for the independent directors and will be watched out very closely because they have a fiduciary responsibility to the shareholders and not to the promoter or the board. And their recommendations are not really legally tenable to the board, but will also put pressure if the board decides to go the other way. So that will be very, very interesting. And also remember that the buyback is something that we need to watch out for because the board meeting is essentially to also discuss the inconclusive meeting on the buyback last time, Sonia.
Okay, well, thanks a lot for that. Moving on then, the Congress President Rahul Gandhi has unveiled the party's minimum income guarantee scheme, promising 72,000 rupees per year for 20% poorest families in the country. Lata Venkatesh joins in now with the economics behind this scheme. Lata.
Well, all we know is that the cost at its peak, as the Congress speech said, is 3.6 lakh crore, which is 72,000 into 5 crore. But beyond that, we don't have any details. When we asked Congress spokespersons, they said, which manifesto gives you the budget breakdown? When we come to it, we'll tell you what the details are. But it looks like it is going to be something which will also be shared by the states because the spokesman definitely said that the total expenditure of all governments in India, state plus centre, is 60 lakh crore. So at its peak at 3.6 lakh crore, it's coming up to just about 5% of the entire expenditure of states plus centre. So probably states will be roped in. Will the MNREGS be worked into it and the food subsidy be worked into it? We do not know those details just yet. But there is only one way to target, and that is there is a socio-economic caste census of 2011, which basically asks every citizen, is anyone in your family earning more than 5,000 rupees? Then you don't fall in that category. So that kind of census has been done, but that is 2011 census, already 8 years old. If the party were to come to power, then clearly groundwork will have to be done again, and you will have to have the cooperation of the states because they will have to provide the data. Now, just a quick comparison between the Congress and the BJP current farm income transfer. This is an income transfer. It's not a farm income transfer, the Congress scheme. So Congress scheme applies to just the bottom 20%, rural and urban. The BJP scheme applied only rural. The BJP scheme applies to landed. So it's not really the poorest. Whereas this, since it applies to the poorest, will obviously be landless and maybe people who are sharecroppers or tenancy farmers. That is the difference. And of course, the amount. This is 72,000 crores for 12 crore families because it is landed and therefore it comes to about 500 rupees a month. Whereas this comes to, much more 6,000 rupees per month, but for a smaller number of families, only 5 crore families. That's all we know by way of math. Much will depend on exactly what is subsumed, what is the state centre share, and how long you will take to find out the targets. At the moment, the market is therefore not reacting as to the fiscal deficit impact because it's really so far away.
All right, Lata, thanks so much for getting us the entire maths of the big announcement coming in from the Congress. And of course, we will see many big announcements for the Battle Royale general elections this year. Now, Sonal is joining us. She has a list of other stocks which are in news today. Sonal.
Hi, good afternoon, Nisha. Well, yes, I'll start with DLF. That stock is buzzing in trade because the long impending QIP has been announced. It'll be around 3,300 crore worth of QIP. And after this, the entire consideration will be used to pay the debt, which stands at around 7,200 crore rupees. So with this and the promoter infusion, the company plans to become net debt zero by end of this year. So that is a positive news coming in, and that's why the stock is up around 7-odd%. GMR also is buzzing in trade today because remember, last Friday, they were awarded the commercial development rights for about 9.7 million square feet of Delhi airport by Bharti Realty, and Edelweiss has written a note on them. They maintain a buy with a target of around 23 rupees per share. They think that this deal is positive as it demonstrates its ability to steadily monetize the DIAL airport, and also they think that the company is the most exciting play as far as the Indian airport sector is concerned. NLC is a stock in focus. It's seen a sharp decline. That is because it is trading ex-dividend today. The quality is getting bad to worse, and they have reported a loss of around 1,500 crore rupees versus a net profit of 20.9 crores in Q3 of FY18. Additionally, they have also provided for 1,434 crore rupees, that is for bad debts and also investment write-off. Though it's a penny stock, but of course, it is seeing a sharp decline today. Kalpataru, that stock is buzzing in trade today because the wholly owned subsidiary that has acquired an EPC business in Sweden and for a consideration of 165 crore rupees, and management has told us that the business has revenues of around $80 million and also will be operating on margins of around 6% in FY20. So positive guidance coming in from the management. So that's why the stock is buzzing in trade today.
Okay, thanks a lot, Sonal, for putting all of those stocks into perspective for us.